Welcome. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in here, out there, around the world, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert, and I am loving the air conditioning in here tonight. Because
I'm telling you,
out there today, the country is experiencing a weather phenomenon that meteorologists call Satan's steaming ball sack. It has been particularly bad in the Pacific Northwest. Yesterday, Portland hit 116 degrees, which I believe means Portland is medium rare. Safe to eat, though. The heat's so bad, and this is true, Portland streetcars had to shut down after the extreme temperatures melted its power cables. Passengers were then forced to walk, which I will remind you is only twice as fast as riding a streetcar. The heat's also shutting down the streets themselves because it is causing the roads to buckle and crack. And of course, the two sweatiest parts of the street are the buckle and the crack. Funnels. Luckily for those roads, help may be on the way, because after weeks of negotiations, senators have emerged with a bipartisan infrastructure bill to shore up our nation's crumbling Joe Manchin votes. And Joe Biden is going on tour to sell the deal. And I'll catch you up on tonight's installment of my under construction segment,
the road to someday making a road.
Oh, so close.
Today, the president promoted his infrastructure deal in La Crosse, Wisconsin. To sell it to Wisconsinite, he told them how the legislation will increase jobs, prepare our country for the future, and if those don't work, he's going to have the bill batter fried with a side of melted cheese. Now, in a speech at a transit hub, the president trotted out his working man bona fides to thank a bus driver who introduced him.
Back when I was in law school, I drove a school bus during the summers to pick up spending money. And from one bus driver to another, Laurie, I want to thank for all you do to make this city run.
Fact is, there's no blue-collar job I haven't done. I was a bus driver just so I could get to my job at the quarry, where I drove a steamroller to moonlight at the hammer factory. Got paid in ham sandwiches that I'd eat out of my hardtack. Come on, folks. Biden. Hardtack doesn't matter. Biden's also pushing his plan on the World Wide Webs. Yesterday, he published an op-ed titled, "Americans Can Be Proud of the Infrastructure Deal," on the esteemed journal Yahoo News. That's right, the guy bringing your infrastructure technology into the future is still using Yahoo. Next, I'm bringing you G5. I'm talking about Gertrude, Glenda, Gracie, and their gorgeous gams. Come on, Jack. Ash Jeeves, Alta Vista. In his, thank you. I do a strip tease from here to here. And in his op-ed, Biden says the plan will make public transportation quicker, safer, and cleaner. You heard that, New York. Joe Biden's going to make the subway safer and cleaner. By 2035, he promises to reduce public masturbator emissions by 50%. Oh, there's huge news about the January 6th Capitol riot investigation. We may finally learn what we already all know happened. Because yesterday, Speaker Nancy Pelosi introduced a bill that will create a select committee to probe the January 6th attack on the Capitol. It's HR, let's get the bastard who stole my podium. This announcement comes exactly 1 month after Senate Republicans blocked an effort to create an independent, bipartisan commission. What a surprise. Most of you were a little late right there. Okay. What a surprise. Asking Republicans to investigate the Capitol riot is like the plot of my favorite book in middle school, Nancy Drew in the Case of Nancy Drew Murdered Somebody. That is, Nancy Drew, wait a second. I didn't read a lot of Nancy. There was no murders in Nancy Drew, was there? It was always like the case of the stolen locket.
That's right, that's right.
It wasn't like Nancy Drew and the neighbor who wore your skin or anything like that. Okay. We make up some of the jokes on this show. The GOP will have some say because under the bill, Pelosi would have the power to appoint 8 members to the panel, and 5 members would be selected after consultation with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Come on, we don't need his input. That was a little better. We don't need his input. This is just like trying to plan a family reunion to the Grand Canyon. We asked for your opinions months ago, Uncle Kevin, and you said bupkis. Now we're all in the car and you don't get a vote. We're not stopping at the Corn Palace. Maybe Wall Drug. Maybe. Insiders say... Insiders say McCarthy is likely to suggest loyal MAGA heads to gum up the works of the investigation, and the creme de la crazy are already volunteering for the job, like Georgia representative and woman... That's more like it. Georgia representative and woman in the Matrix who took all the pills, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has been publicly pushing to be seated on the panel. I, for one, can't wait. I, for one, can't wait until she offers up her theory that the halls of Congress were actually soiled by Jewish poop lasers. Greene is not alone. Florida Representative and Jimmy Dustron. Wow. Matt Gaetz also openly expressed his interest. As usual, he showed his interest by offering to give the commission a ride home from band practice. There are also a slew of books coming out, taking us behind the scenes that led up to January 6th. For instance, Michael Wolff's new tell-all reveals that the night before the riot, Rudy Giuliani was drinking heavily and incoherently telling the former president that Pence would overturn the election results. Really? I find it hard to believe that this man drinks heavily and talks incoherently. Wolff also writes that the previous administration had no idea what a tragedy it was. In fact, for the first 90 minutes, Ivanka dismissed it as an optics issue and was telling everyone how happy she was that her children had gotten into a private school in Florida. Well, that's pretty insensitive. It reminds me of this famous moment.
And it's bursting into flames. Oh, did I mention my son got into Harvard? His future is lit. Oh, he's studying the humanities. There he is. Congrats, kiddo.
According to the book, her father was also surprised, telling an aide, "This looks terrible. This is really bad. Who are these people? These aren't our people. These idiots with these outfits, they look like Democrats." Oh, yeah. The crowd on January 6th definitely looked like Democrats. We all remember what Biden wore to his inauguration. He looks good. He's cut, man.
I remember that.
A 78-year-old man.
Yeah, 78-year-old man putting it out there.
Speaking of the ex-president's buddies, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-Un has recently reemerged after having not been seen in public for almost a month. My guess, he was holed up watching Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, a mountain of entertainment between uncle murders. The world got their first glimpse in a while at the dear leader, and the media noticed something different. North Korea's Kim looks much thinner. Yes, that's what we should all be focused on when it comes to murderous dictators. Reminds me of that People magazine cover from the 70s, Pol Pot is Pol Hot. That said, let's take a look at the new Slim Kim. Here he is before. Here he is after. Yeah. He lost 30 pounds of unsightly head. But to be sure that the dear leader has slimmed down, and this is true, intelligent analysts looked at multiple photos of Kim wearing his $12,000 Swiss watch and noticed that compared to a year ago, the length of the strap past the buckle was longer, proving his wrist was thinner. It's all part of the new diet program, Weight Watchers, Watch Watchers. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are the only two hobbits from The Lord of the Rings that I've never interviewed, Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd. But when we return, the entire cast of the new Fast and Furious movies answers questions from my staff. It's true.